One of my young cousins said Skibbity Riz.
Do you know his username?
Hotfist.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, they're cold fists. They're hot fists. Wait,
Hotfist.com.
if you put both fists, if like
Do you want .com or do you just want Hotfist?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
Do you still sell controllers?
No, it just goes to my Twitch.
All right.
Okay,
Like,
so
you
don't. Okay, so you don't have any goods or services that you sell these days?
No.
Feet pics?
Yeah, feet pics on my OnlyFans.
Oh, really strong. Only feet.
It's not. It's actually coldfoot.tv.
Ah,
It's safe for work.
I like that.
It's safe for work. It's not safe for life. I put food on my feet.
Oh.
At the time when I was doing Twitch stuff all the time during the pandemic, people were being really obnoxious about how you can't have an opinion on sex work if you're not involved. So I was like, F it, dude,
You're
gonna be a
involved.
prostitute.
Yeah.
So my feet pictures are available.
You should like learn to eat with your feet.
That sounds complicated.
Like
and
putting your
someone
spoons.
would still.
What do you say?
I don't want
What
anyone to
do
get
you
into
say?
it.
So should I introduce you as a sex worker? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patch Notes, Season 3, Episode 8, New Year's Eve edition. For you, you're in 2025. We are still in 2024. Yes, we invented a time machine. No, don't ask us about it. It's proprietary. I'm here with Vindy, Wolfclock, and a very, very special guest, Hotfist/hotfistdotcom, both viable. Hotfist, how are you this evening?
Pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah.
good? We're even better for you being here.
Great.
Yes, we're going to ask you a lot of questions. They're going to be probing questions. You're going to get probed, is what we're saying here.
Sweet.
Yeah. Guys, before we do the probing,
Yeah, spit on it first.
I know he's I know we often start with a lot of like, what have we been playing things, and I know some small things involve Marvel Rivals. Maybe it's rude of me to even say it's a small thing, given that you've been enjoying it a lot.
I have.
And
I always assume
I've been enjoying it.
Vindy actually plays. Oh, you've been playing?
No.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
No.
That's okay.
Well, so you play Team Fortress, though, right?
I used
Team
to play
Fortress 2?
Team Fortress 2 a lot.
Yeah, like it's not too much of a stretch from that. So it's like
It is a descendant of
Did
Team
you ever
Fortress.
play Overwatch?
Oh, I really didn't like Overwatch. Actually, I was at a LAN party here. That was the first time I played Overwatch, and that was enough.
Really?
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair.
Overwatch is garbage though. So
Yeah. It felt like,
Overwatch was my first esports love.
it just
And,
felt like unfocused and unfun TF2. Like, so much of it was focused on the objective and so little of it on, like, the combat. It wasn't as bad as, like, Deadlock was, but it was unenjoyable.
Wait, Deadlock is bad.
I don't like Deadlock. If you like MOBAs, I'm sure you'd really like it.
Interesting.
I want to
don't
shoot
like
people
it
in the head
either.
and then
I actually
die.
haven't heard anyone have a bad opinion on Deadlock yet.
Oh, I really didn't
really,
like it.
I thought I shared that pretty openly.
You?
Yeah.
You had a negative opinion?
I don't remember that.
It was just boring.
I thought you were. Yeah, I thought you were
Yeah,
lukewarm
it's just
about
not
it, but
my
not
jam.
Yeah, I
negative.
definitely-
I'm not a MOBA guy.
I wish
Yeah,
it were
that's
brighter
totally
colors.
understand.
I wish it
Yeah.
had brighter colors. It's like a
Yes,
lot of
I was just about to
dull
say that. It
green.
feels a
Yes,
little dull.
yes,
It
Yeah.
feels a little.
yes,
Deadlock
it
feels a
does.
little dull.
Feels post-apocalyptic in the not exciting way.
I
and
think
it's like it didn't even matter what lane that you're going down to. It's like
Yeah.
why have
Yeah.
4 lanes if there's no variety to
Yeah.
it, right?
Sure.
And there's so little teamwork. That was my feel too. That it basically turned into 1v1 and then sometimes 1v2. And I would want more of a glass cannon thing. Like I want to shoot somebody in the face a couple of times and they die. They shoot me, I die.
Yeah.
Like that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Oh, you
if I
like
have
really
to-
low time to kill then?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. It would feel
okay.
better and it would feel poppier.
Yeah,
you,
yeah. Okay.
you would actually like Marvel Rivals then, because time to kill is actually really
yeah,
short. in
it's
that game.
pretty short.
Maybe.
Yeah, once Vindy's dead and I don't have a front line, I'm gone instantly. I like Marvel Rivals. It does give me some flashbacks to my Overwatch glory days.
Yeah.
I was really struggling on figuring out my settings. My monitor was still like just going black at various
Oh.
times. And I remember playing with Pipe before in
Yep.
Call of Duty and feeling insecure then. So it was like all
Pipe
over
Pipe
again.
makes a lot of people insecure in first-person shooters, though. He's just naturally good at those.
Sean?
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
I know.
He does
Yeah.
seem like he'd be super chill. Like he'd just be there mowing him down and be like,
Yeah, well, okay.
he says
but
nothing.
if
you
there's
have
a
zero
yes.
idea that he's going to be MVP of the match, and all of a sudden, Pipe Pipe. And
If,
like,
if there's a
shit.
chill guy and he's doing poorly, maybe you're like, he's a chill guy. But if there's a chill guy who's doing well and he's not saying anything, I'm filling in the blanks. And the blanks are, he must think I'm an abject failure. I should log off before I offend him anymore.
You see the top right of your screen, like 3 kills, and you just hear this.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm so sorry. I didn't know they were there. I got your back.
Yep.
Oh man, it's okay.
Yeah, and he was fragging that night. He was fragging.
Yeah, dude. He
But
frags every night.
Before we get too into, I introduced the conversation, but I wanna let the people understand who Hotfist is.
Yeah,
Because
let's get it down.
there's a reason we bring him here today, and there's a reason we respect him, and you respect him so much,
Mm-hmm.
and because I respect you and you respect him, even though I'm still getting to know Hotfist, there's a lot of respect just dripping from the ceiling. Hotfist, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you do some streaming.
Yep.
I know you are into kaisos, kind of. A little bit.
Especially when drinking.
which is like a super hard Mario platformer. That's the vocab word for the day. Is it like K-A-I-S-O?
It was Japanese for rearranged, but it became the term for ROM hacks, for Super Mario World ROM hacks, or modified cartridges, basically, that were much more difficult.
Okay.
And that's why Mario Maker came into existence too, right?
No, Nintendo officially hates and does not acknowledge that those exist at all.
Yeah.
Mario Maker was just an opportunity to get
To the
players
surprise
to make
of no
levels.
one.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is like they
That's where
probably
the
wanted to tap
a lot
into
of the
that
community
right?
swarmed in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth there.
So, do you have an origin story? Like, it could be a dramatized one. It could be like a not
for your
dramatized
gaming,
one.
for your gaming,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your gaming world.
Oh, I played video games since I was a little kid. The joke that my family used to make, my sisters would make, is that I kept cramming dumb crap into the NES, like sandwiches and stuff, so they had to show me how to put cartridges in there. So I've been playing video games since forever.
So your siblings played video games first, and then okay.
my
So it was
sister
in the house, and then you got all right.
Yeah,
all
we
right.
had an NES when I was very little.
Okay. Good. And you got into were platformers some of your first experiences? All right.
Pretty
They
much
stuck-
always been platformers and single-player experiences. Now I play a lot of indie stuff.
Okay.
And retro games, ROM hacks, and Mario Maker.
And how did you two get to know each other?
Smash Brothers,
Yeah.
Smash Brothers Esports.
I went.
It was St. Norbert's.
Yeah, I went to a college tournament thing, and I thought I was going to play Melee, and I went up to the Melee guys and was like, okay, where do I plug in? And all these dudes just like, don't say anything. They're just weird clicky guys.
Yeah.
So then I walk over to the Smash 4, and I was like, what are you guys doing? He talks like a person and says, come play with me. And then we're talking and playing a little bit. And he's like, yeah, we do a stream. So I started helping with that because he had this you had like a terrible
I had
audio
one
interface.
I had one of the first Avery digital capture cards and like this laptop that was just like hanging in. Like some of the hinges were like popping off and stuff.
Not much better than the desktop you had, that pink one.
He helped me build
That was
that.
this guy.
Oh, dude, that thing was brutal.
We pretty much were just like, because I don't know, like we weren't taking it like too seriously, so we didn't want to throw like too much money in it. So it's just like whenever something like
Well,
came up,
yeah,
we
yeah,
could
yeah.
throw it
wasn't-
in there.
There wasn't any money. Smash doesn't pay any money at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Nintendo famous
unless you're
for
a
not
TO
loving
at
esports.
Edge Gamers Lounge.
Hey.
Then you make a couple bucks. But yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but it costs more than a couple bucks to organize the thing.
Well,
Yeah,
technically, you can't make any money on a Smash tournament anymore.
Right.
Right.
Because of their
Right.
horrible rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah. Rip Smash.
Yeah.
Oh well, there's rivals too.
Yes.
There is hope in the platforming community. So.
Yeah, two XKOs coming out
Oh, and 2XKO, yes.
this coming year, and
That's the League of Legends
yes,
one, right?
yeah,
Okay,
that's
hopefully
cool.
that's gonna be good. I'm gonna give that my best try because
can
I used to be
see
a big Soul
lot
Calibur fan.
of- yeah, I can see a lot of Smashers coming over to that too because of the esports like potential, right? And a lot of Smashers actually end up playing League of Legends, so they know the characters.
Yep, yeah, that'd be really interesting. I want to get back to Marvel Rivals real quick, though.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
okay? Can we kind of flute on back? Because this is the first game that I've liked
Since Overwatch?
since Overwatch
Yeah.
that I'm like, oh, this is going to be a game that I try to at least play 2 matches.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to play League, I'm going to play 2 rounds of Marvel Rivals before I play League. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
I like that. So, and
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but that night I logged on, you had played like at least 5-6 games of Venom and been MVP.
Oh yeah.
Every-
The first 8 games I played all MVP or SVP Venom games. Yeah. I played Venom every single game besides one, and the other game I played was Punisher,
All right.
which was actually not too bad.
Yeah. I told you it was like Bastion too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
You played Captain America once with us.
Oh,
right?
that's right. I did. That was the last game I played. That
Captain's
was.
actually really fun in that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
I found him
He's
very-
all mobile.
I found him
He's a
unintuitive.
tank, but he's mobile.
He seems
He
not
gets,
like Venom, and so having a different skill set once you've learned Venom is probably was not rewarding.
Venom's kit is one of the coolest kits I've ever played in any game ever.
Because you said he had 2 health pools, right?
Well, yeah. He has like what I would consider a game mechanic called like gray health, even though they don't show it to you. Well, they do show it to you in the game.
Yeah, it's blue.
You can change every color in the game. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, you should see.
so it was
what
blue.
my
He
HUD looks
changed
like.
it just so you'd be wrong.
You can change all those. You can change all the colors. You can change them to do whatever you want.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
really like that. It's a really nice accessibility feature
Yes,
too for
yes.
colorblind people, but it's
Very
also
much.
just really nice.
It's really nice because there might be certain color palettes that you prefer.
Yeah.
And like I'm on OLED, and I would actually prefer bright, super crazy bright colors because the contrast with black.
This would help me play Deadlock.
Probably.
If Deadlock had that option,
Yes.
I would be more excited
do
about
they
it.
allow you to change the colors of when an ability is accessible?
Oh, all of it.
and
All
stuff?
of it. All of it.
Really?
You can change. You can change your ammo color and have it separate than your health bar, then have it separate than the after. My extra HP is its own color.
Let's go Chinese.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah,
care about that
it is,
because
yeah.
I did think the health bar was incredibly difficult to notice. It didn't stand out compared
Well,
to
it's transparent too,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You can
So-
make it not.
Okay, that's
Every
big.
single character can have their own Corsair.
Oh.
their own Corsair keyboard.
Yeah. Crosshair. I said Corsair.
You did.
All right, Corsair.
Every single character can
in
have their
Corsair
own
headphones.
binds.
That was a plug.
Every character has their own binds and everything.
Sponsor us.
And everything. It's
That's
pretty
amazing.
wild. But no, Venom's kit is just really well designed.
Yeah.
Now it is the first champion that I played. But when I saw like the animations and stuff, like they show you the previews of
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
abilities, I'm like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. Because Overwatch to me did not really have a diver character, at least on the initial champions that I tried to play. Venom is really cool because he dives in, and if he can stay alive for like 7 seconds, he can swing back out, get healed.
Oh, like Wrecking Ball. Like
I guess
Hammond, the big
Wrecking Ball
hamster
would be a
character.
diver.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
But he wasn't out right away, right?
I
No,
think
he
Pipe
wasn't.
said that.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
I think he
And
did.
so like this diver archetype, which we have tons of those in League of Legends, they weren't in Overwatch. And I kind of like that playstyle of diving in, disrupting, do what you need to do, and if you live, you get to get out, get healed up, and do it over again. I like that loop. And Venom has a really nice loop. Also, I think technically he can have the most max effective HP in the game. Yeah.
Oh.
Because if you
If
pair
you
up the right,
consider
if
everything,
you pair up
yeah.
the right teammates, you get
Yeah.
1,000 base health,
Yep.
That's
and then if you hold your E into the last second,
Right.
you get like 70% of all the health that you lost.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden you can just be there with like 1,700.
Oh,
Which
so
is
the
a
E, like,
crazy
regains
mechanic,
lost health?
because it's
Yeah.
like there's a risk.
You know how Tom Kinch
reward
works?
type of mechanic within his ability
No.
too, which is
You know
just
how
really
Tom
cool.
Kinch works?
No. I know
Basically-
sometimes he eats characters in TFT when he's there.
Facts.
The thing that makes him OP is the more damage he takes, you see a second health bar start to get larger. Okay? And if you activate it, it becomes a shield.
Oh.
So you
okay.
basically, but if he doesn't use it, it slowly starts to go down.
Okay.
So it requires you to not all in him. You have to whittle him down. You cannot all in Tom Kinch. It's
Okay.
literally impossible.
because
No
then he'll
character.
make a massive shield, and then you'll be.
It's more than any character out of all 192 characters can
And in
have.
the lore, he's like a god or something, right?
He's one of the 6 demons. Yeah.
Okay.
So Venom is like that. It's not how much damage he's taken; it's how little health he has.
Okay.
So you can play, like you're saying, you can play that game of being really close to death. You pop E, boom, you're like
Edging.
You're
He's
edging.
the edge lord.
basically. Yeah.
Edge Gamers Lounge.
So,
Oh my god.
so anyways,
That's actually the origin of that name.
The game
Those
feels
of you,
good.
Because
Not edging.
Sean
No,
and
no,
Aaron
no,
just
no.
love
Edging
that.
is the
Okay.
yeah. You come here for that reason. Yep.
anyways, the game
I
feels
speak
good.
on behalf of the business.
The main issue with the game is the same issue with Overwatch. If you play it by yourself, it doesn't feel very good at all.
Yeah.
I can tell when I don't have healers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can tell when I have good healers. I'm like, this game is so. I feel like Venom's the most broken character
Yeah.
in the game when I even have one person like, oh, I see what he's trying to do. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I tried to do that, but I just knew nothing about the maps, and so I was like seeing you through a wall and would like go this way,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
then it's
that's
like
fine.
I'm farther than I was when I spawned.
Well,
It was difficult.
whenever I played with Zombro, he's like, Vindy, you have no brain. You just go. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And yeah, anyways, I thought it's really good. I'm gonna continue playing it.
Same.
I'm probably just gonna focus on just Punisher and Venom. Probably I'll just have a small because I don't want to learn the game to the level that I've learned League. That's
Sure.
not-
Oh, yeah.
Who's my like insectoid waifu?
Oh,
Mantis.
Mantis. Yeah, I'll play her again.
Yeah.
I played
like
all the
her a lot.
attractive ladies.
She actually has a huge burst potential too.
Yes.
Oh,
She
yeah?
has one ability where she uses one of her life orbs to increase her damage output.
The sound of that
and
gives me huge burst potential.
when that
That
happens.
was a weird hand motion. She uses her.
He's speaking. He's speaking my language. Yeah.
And then she's just like, nah, and then they die.
I like that. I like that.
Come to edge.
Yeah. I liked your. One of the things with my keyboard's like one of the small versions that doesn't have the like separate function.
You have a TKL.
60%.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Pressing the F keys.
yes.
Yep.
And so I like kept pressing function. Like I kept trying to
Yeah.
see what she could do, and I just wasn't.
Oh yeah, I
It
didn't
wasn't
even think
coming.
about that. You'd have to hit function.
F1.
Yeah, and I swear I was
Yeah.
doing that, and I just couldn't.
Huh.
Yeah, that was so. That's I
Sad.
mean, yeah. Insecurity is really why I logged off that night. I wasn't that tired. I was just debased.
Sad.
Yeah, like currency.
So, Jacob, do you play games competitively that are not fighters at all?
Not that I can think of. I used to play Rust with a group, but that's not really competitive.
Yeah, I mean it's competitive in its own way, but it's not like a ranked leaderboard, right?
I used to play Rocket League with a group.
Oh, okay.
But I was terrible at it, and what I would do is ram other cars to blow them up, and
yeah,
they'd get distracted and chase me around. And
Jacob the Enforcer.
The enforcer.
Rocket League to me is one of those games so I'll play it a couple times a year, and I'm like, this is the most fun I've ever had because it's just so goofy and fun. But it's like, man, I could see like how seriously good you can get it. Like when I watch Sean play, holy crap, dude! Or when Remedy or Lefty plays,
Right.
those guys are top 50 in the world. They live here in Green Bay.
Yeah, when you're playing with people who can dribble in the air, it's just like, okay, well,
It's a different game.
I just
Yeah,
want
it
to.
is.
I want to hit the ball and run into people.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
have fun.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to play crazy Mario Kart. You guys are like playing serious games now. Come on.
Yeah.
So like, but your competitive impulse involved. Do you ever like speed run or?
Yeah, I've been speedrunning Mario 3 for a long time. I could rant for a long time, but it was
Do it.
it was you just cut it if you don't like it.
That's a great idea.
No, tell us about it. Well, I can't believe we've never really had a speed running conversation.
I know. I
really
was
here.
telling Jacob, I'm like, we'd
So
never talked about
that would be
speedrunning.
great to talk about it.
In the late 90s, Speed Demos Archives was the place where people were putting their uploads. The guy who ran it, he was the guy who ran Awesome Games Done Quick, all the GDQ stuff for years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was the guy. Great stuff, doing really great things. He's a great guy. Pissed me off so bad because to upload anything to Speed Demos Archive, you needed not only capture equipment, but you needed a camcorder. And back in the day,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is like a $10,000 ask, basically.
Right,
right,
To have all this stuff set up because you need to prove you were playing it on a console with the controller on a CRT. So it was just nothing you could ever do. And now the games that I'm interested in is so unbelievably competitive that it's just not fun. So the one thing I do still do off stream, but I do still do it eventually, I'll start streaming it, is I run Mario 3 Advance because it has a very small player base and doesn't rely on as much insanity. There's still like a 12.5% chance the run is garbage every single run.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Oh.
Hang on. 12.5%. No. Yeah, 12.5% chance the run is good every single run.
Okay.
But it's
Which part of it is luck based?
the hands, the 3 hands in World 8. One hand grabs you, it's over. That's it. Bye.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really? You
So
just
wait,
can't-
you only have a 12% chance of even trying to do a good run, essentially?
One and
Yeah,
eight?
you're only
There are
running.
some, like, I would say a good majority of speedruns that have luck involved.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
that
Wait,
for
so
sure.
you
But
get
I
to
didn't.
that.
12%. Like, how long
12%
does it
is
take you to get to
disgusting.
the 12%?
5 or 6 minutes usually. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a speed run.
there's like 2 long auto scrollers right before it, so it sucks
Yeah.
a little bit. Like you're going fast, and then you're sitting.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
long auto scrollers
Right.
before you get to flip 3 coins, and you have to get 3 heads or whatever, or you're starting over.
That's the 1 out of 8. Okay.
Yeah.
So like you don't get 3 heads, you restart.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay.
This is why speedruns are probably the most excruciating, like, competition there is, though. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like.
Well, they're
Like you see some of the people that like actually pop off with the world records, and they're like, they can't actually control how excited they are because of how like excruciating it is to actually pull that off.
And there's little rivalries sometimes, but it's all collaborative. Like anybody finding a new way to improve stuff is an improvement for everyone.
Yes.
Everyone
Yeah.
starts grinding it out from there.
Right.
And it's not stealing, it's just a collaborative process. Like
I've always enjoyed that about the speedrunning community. It's like, hey, let's all of us break this game. It's like, it is cool because, all right, sweet, I'm the first one to find it, so I get my name on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm going to hide it so I can also find a new thing either. It's,
Right. Well, you can't if you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
a record.
right. That's also true. But I swear that's not even the mentality
No,
anyways.
right.
Because
It's
if
more
you're
like,
invested enough to find it in the first place,
Right.
you're invested enough to beat the guy who does it better than you.
Yeah.
The first
do
time
you
they
watch
do
a
it.
lot of Carl Jobs content? Yeah. I
familiar with him,
I
yeah.
pretty much watch every video he drops.
I wish
and-
he still did more of the speedrun stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, he.
More of the gaming focused stuff.
Yeah. I think he's trying to change up some of his content, but some of the Doom stuff is just like, what?
Oh, yeah.
I can't even believe it. Like people figuring out like, oh, I saved just 2 frames right here on this, like the Doom Hop, the
Yeah.
Hop episode that I watched like 3 months ago, and it was like, yeah, he figured out that he could maintain speed by looking at a certain
Yeah, very
way,
specific vector.
a very specific vector, and it saved 2 frames, and the 2 frames is enough to make it an extra second.
Oh,
And I guess in certain speed runs they don't go down to like hundredths or thousandths of seconds. They're just, I guess the agreed
Frames
upon is
often.
just it's just tenths. So the time is 10.1 seconds. But there can be a lot of speed runs that are actually faster than 10 point. They're in the hundredths or tenths, right? And so you don't know that it's 10.1.9999.
Yeah.
And so someone finds 2 frames and then they actually hit 10.0 even
yeah.
25 years later.
Yeah.
Like that was this video was like 25 years later.
Crazy.
Yeah, because it's like it's less than a 10-second level apparently or something like that. So it's like once you hit it, it's like, oh yeah, this is unbeatable. You can't beat this.
Yeah.
Well, someone shaved off a whole second by it's like what?
Wild.
Yeah. And if you're
Wild.
outside of like the speedrunning world, like a whole second sounds like
And,
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you guys aren't familiar with tool assisted runs, it's
Yeah,
basically
TAS.
hand generated frame by frame advanced speed runs.
Yep.
So it's different. It's essentially a hand optimized theoretical perfect run.
Right.
Super Mario Bros. 1 is about like 1 second off from the theoretic perfect run, and they're so close. They're so close to being able to get it so close that they'll be the same thing.
Really?
Until
Oh,
there's-
sure, yeah.
The SMB1 stuff is absolutely crazy, and like people lose their mind over cutting literally 1 frame off at the very end because that's the difference.
Wow.
It's the same thing with like some of those GoldenEye speed runs. They're so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is insane because it's a 3D game.
That era especially, the really early 3D stuff, there was so much jank with the engine that you'll often see the runs will be terrible to watch because they'll be staring at the sky.
Yeah,
or
so they
ground
can get better
to
FPS,
minimize, to
right.
minimize engine lag so that they're moving faster.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
watching a GoldenEye speed run is actually pretty painful because you're just looking at the ground. Like I swear, half the speed run is them just getting shot and looking at the ground.
but
Getting
they just
bumped.
know the direction they have to go.
They can do that shit blind.
crazy,
I mean,
yeah.
there's no way.
Yeah.
That's why the newest thing that I search for is John Wick. Any percents. That's my favorite speed
What is
runs.
that?
All enemies have to be killed,
Oh, nice.
so they call it John Wick. 80%.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool because now you're not like walking through terrain that's not been edited by like in Doom how they just go out of the map.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do
Yeah.
that because you have to kill every character in the game.
Yeah.
There's a game that's like based off that concept now that just came out. It's like Your Beast or something, or I Am Your Beast, I think it's called.
Interesting.
You guys will have to
I mean,
look
you
into
are
it.
my beast, so I understand.
Is it
Yeah.
made to be like a speed running
Yep.
kill every unit type game?
It's exactly that concept. You have to kill everybody and then extract. And like you can like throw your guns and it can bounce and all that kind of stuff.
A few moments later.
So that's when I smothered him.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 No,
it was-
actually I forget what we were talking about though.
I,
It was,
I
the,
think
it was the 007. We had a small technical issue. We fixed it.
We did.
Yeah.
This time it won't
Some
result
of us should
in
have changed positions.
it won't.
It's important to keep things interesting
Yeah.
in the bedroom. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Positions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, the speedrunning scene is pretty sweet. And like I said, I was mentioning the John Wick, like the John Wick speed run.
That's right. That's what we were talking
I
about.
think that's pretty cool, like to be able to have speed runs like that. And that I've noticed that's starting to take more. That's starting to get more popular.
Well, it's more exciting to watch.
Because it's more fun to watch.
Different games will pull different categories for what ends
For
up
sure.
working. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I like watching GDQ runs a lot more than anything else is because the marathon runs are you start it and you finish it. Nothing you call an audible if there's a problem rather than restarting. If you're actually watching a speedrunner, you're going to watch 4 hours of the first 20 minutes of the game before you see anything go forward a lot of the time.
Right. Oh, that's what you're saying. Like you're saying, oh yeah, because they
There's
won't
world
quit
record,
if they mess up. is
There's
what you're
world
saying.
records, and then there's just day competitions.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So people grinding for PB too for their personal best to see
true.
how much better they can get. They're just kind of running it out. But yeah, it'll
So
be a lot of restarts.
viewing experience wise, like if you view, if you're a viewer of speedruns, at least some.
I will watch GDQ, but I can't stand watching people restart over and over. Like I really like Mitch, Flower Power, and Cosmic run SMB1 and SMB3. They're great guys. I love watching them at GDQ. I'm not going to watch the streams because I don't want to watch.
You'll watch the world record.
So it's not like
it's
not like
watch
you're
YouTube stuff.
It's not like you're liking the 4 hours, the first 20 minutes over and over again.
Yeah.
Just like hope.
That's also why I don't stream it because I don't. Nobody wants to watch me reset Mario 3 over.
They want to
and
watch
over.
your foot pics.
Yeah, I mean they can. That's available also.
Yeah, cold.
Some people do a hand cam.
TV.
I could do a foot cam.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you ought
doing
to.
Mario Maker with like controller foot though.
Yeah, I could just have my feet on a controller and people be like, "What is that? Is that how you're playing?" I'm like,
There was a NES controller that you could play with your foot, wasn't it? Or was that Super Nintendo? I forget what it's called.
There's a
was
bunch
like-
of DDR pads.
Well, and it was
I
before
mean, if you've
DDR.
lost your arms for long enough, you can play piano with your feet. So I'm sure anything's possible.
Well, and Xbox makes that accessibility controller that has like
Yeah,
huge
that
buttons.
thing's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it has huge buttons, and you can plug anything you can imagine into it.
Yeah.
Via USB or 3.5 millimeter, and it just works. It's crazy.
It is pretty cool. We've had some people with some pretty severe motor disabilities come into the arcade to do some of that stuff. And because our controllers are haptic, they're like, oh, this is just like the Xbox stuff. I'm
That's
like,
pretty cool.
and I'd never even heard. And then I learned that Xbox is like super advanced with their accessibility features.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation has nothing like
Oh,
that.
no, PlayStation
Xbox
doesn't.
went really, really hard on that. Like really, really hard.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
Well, I mean, there's so much use for it even outside of video games.
Oh yeah,
right?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, and Steam hasn't made a huge push with it by any means, but the Steam input just in general is exceptionally robust for being able to bind multiple things or even other things to things. So you can use your controller and have keyboard inputs, input controller, stuff like that.
Oh wow.
So you mentioned Steam.
I was about to
And-
say, I forgot that was even a
So
topic.
yeah, me too. Rumor has it that
me and
the people who run that Steam thing, Valve, rumor has it that you have a take as hot as your fist.
I like Valve. I like Steam as a platform. Okay, I really want more Half-Life, but it's not like I hold that against them.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
and
that's
I think
fair.
Valve does really great stuff in general in the gaming space. However, I strongly believe they have monopoly that they maintain by charging small companies more. Very small indie developers always pay 30%. Large developers pay as little as 12%. Last we heard with Bethesda, negotiating 12%. And now they even canonize that into you pay less the more you make, which sounds like it's nice, but really it's just a way to get Microsoft and other big people to play ball.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how you maintain monopoly. A lot of people think that because the monopoly isn't harmful to them, that it's not harmful, but it is still harmful if there's no competition. And then the thing on top of that, with all the stuff coming out with CoffeeZilla,
Yes,
going
I did
over
see those.
CS:GO gambling, which I really didn't understand at all. I've popped like 2 cases ever in Team Fortress 2. It did not do slot machine stuff. It just gives you a thing. And you're like, that was stupid.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then that's it.
You're saying you didn't understand what?
The appeal?
I didn't understand how it could even be gambling. I didn't understand that they were doing all this slot machine stuff.
Oh.
And I didn't understand that people were using CS:GO skins as basically NFT style currency.
Oh yeah,
to
100%.
gamble.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And then on top of that, I watched all of CoffeeZilla stuff, but he threw to 2 other people, Players Make Games and some other channel, that also did these really deep dives on it. The last couple of times there was drama around it, and they wanted Valve to stop. Like, a bunch of people have made a big push for Valve to stop,
Yeah.
and they'd act like, oh, we're going to shut it down, but they don't. And what it boils down to, and CoffeeZilla covered it in great detail. You should
Yeah.
absolutely watch
Yeah.
the
Exceptional
stuff he
videos,
put up
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But Valve knows. Valve absolutely knows that
Oh, yeah.
children are making them so much money that it's crazy.
Oh,
This is
children are.
at least
Oh,
several
The
of
ones
Gabe's
he-
yachts are made entirely out of child's
Yeah,
gambling.
the ones
Yeah.
CoffeeZilla, I mean, not all of them.
Never
The
thought about
CoffeeZilla,
that. The implications of children actually using that as gambling.
CoffeeZilla has like a little montage of just all the people he spoke to who got into it at like 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
12 to 15-year-olds are their primary target. Valve doesn't do any of the due diligence that would be necessary to prevent it, and none of the other sites do too.
Yeah.
But
That's
they also
why
know
Honestly,
it, so-
none of the site, no gambling site does. You know how many 16 to 18-year-olds that I've seen like with gambling apps on their phone?
Yeah.
Because they just use their parents' information and all that
But
type of stuff.
they do the due diligence, and then they just allow the parents' information. The CS:GO gambling stuff, it requires
Yeah,
nothing.
nothing.
They'll even
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
won't
I
even
guess
check
you're right.
IDs or anything until
Yeah.
they try to
Yeah.
cash out, because
Right.
then they might want to hang on to it. But otherwise,
Yeah.
One of the really
Gamble
damning
away,
things
kid.
for me in that video was or the most recent one was CoffeeZilla explaining like the France the France specific update they gave, because there was some regulation where they couldn't be gambling in exactly the same way as everywhere else, and so Valve made it possible. They shipped an update to CS:GO in France where
Yeah.
you would see what you got before you re-rolled.
they essentially removed some of the slot machine mechanics specific to France to be compliant, but they didn't ship it everywhere because the addictive features are very important. And on some level,
Right.
Valve either recognizes directly that this addictive feature helps us bring children in who get addicted and spend more money,
Right.
or they recognize indirectly that we shouldn't change it elsewhere because we don't want to make
We're
those
going
people
to
mad.
lose too
And
much.
he noted that that's the same tactic that casinos will use
Yeah.
to
Oh,
get around
100%.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, all these game companies hire psychologists.
Yes.
Like this is very well
CoffeeZilla
known.
noted that. He's like,
Yeah.
Yes.
these are people who brag about how much data they have, how important psychologists are to their business model, but then when it comes to questions about the addictiveness of
Oh, yeah.
CS:GO, then they're mute.
There
These
was an
companies-
excellent juxtaposition in the video where he has a developer at Valve talking about how, oh yeah, we have all the data in the world, anything you can imagine, we have it, we know everything, and then he cuts right to them talking about gambling, and he's like, I don't have that information.
Yep.
I'm not sure if
Yep.
I'll get it."
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
it's like
Wow,
Riot's
what
in
a
the same
back-
boat, right? Because now all of a sudden
Oh, with the gotchas.
we're getting with all these.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're guaranteed the skin if you spend $250.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can just keep re-rolling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just
so
like
nasty, and everybody's going to spend more than that. But once you've got 200 in, you're not going to pay 250.
when I think the reality is I think this is what I think. I think these companies know this shit is about to get regulated, and they're like, well, let's jump on it now.
While the going is hot,
because
yeah.
this stuff, I mean, CS:GO gambling has been around for a while. okay?
Forever. What?
Yeah.
20 years?
Yeah. Well, it's been a black market. Maybe it wasn't gambling for 20 years. It was definitely a black market.
There's always been the Steam marketplace for the things pretty much as long as they've
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was the ability to move it off until like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think all this is going to get legislated pretty hard soon. And I think these companies like, well, we better cash in while we can.
Well, it's because crypto is putting such a limelight on it, right? Because now more and more people are actually understanding how the economics of a digital asset works.
And it's targeting children.
But it's targeting
Yes,
children.
right.
Yeah.
And it's profiting off children, and that will really motivate people. Real
Right.
or fake.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's real. So
Yeah.
even more.
Now, I want to back up to the monopoly side of things because I agree with the statement that monopolies are bad.
Yeah.
However,
especially the board game.
I've thought about
Really
the
disgusting.
Steam. I've thought about the Steam.
Unless it's on McDonald's.
I thought about Steam for a while, and one thing that Steam has something in common with another company, Nvidia, whereas no one dislikes Steam as the product itself. Steam is amazing. It is so incredible.
Yes.
No one dislikes a 4080. Like no one dislikes an Nvidia card. It's so obvious by the market domination of Steam and Nvidia. The common complaint is pricing, right?
Yeah.
And that is one of the most, like, to me, that is one of the most, like, business phrases 101. There is no bad product. It's just a bad price.
Well, and NVIDIA doesn't have to care because they have infinite money.
Well, I would also argue that Steam kind of has infinite money as well
do.
in their
Facts.
own ecosystem. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, Steam is not rivaling Nvidia, but
But they're not trying
I
to
guess,
take over
I
the
guess
world
my
in the
point
same
is,
way. Yeah, yeah.
is like I have seen Steam constantly add features that I doubt many people ask for. And
Like the Steam family that we were just talking about last.
yeah, that to me is
episode.
absolutely insane
Yeah.
that they added that. Are you familiar with this
Yeah.
feature? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
I'm just like I'm waiting for him to tell me something that is obviously like, oh, well then that's why it's good for Steam. And I'm like, well, this is only bad for Steam. It's only bad for Steam. It's only bad for Steam.
Right.
Well, you have seen probably some games that are exempt from it too.
Oh, okay, so I did not
Oh,
know
yeah,
that.
I didn't
Games
know
can
that either.
individually exempt themselves.
Oh, okay.
You'll see it a lot on demos because why would you want
Oh,
to share a free
okay.
demo?
Yeah.
But some games will exempt themselves specifically because some developers are unhappy about it, and that is the largest group of people who are often upset with Valve and Steam in general.
Our
because-
devs?
Indie
Yeah.
developers.
Yeah, the platform definitely has a shovelware problem at this point, where there is a lot of bad content
Yes.
getting crammed in there.
Yes.
And when you're a small developer making a small, like, stupid packing puzzle game,
Yep.
and there are 60 AI generated ones that just came out this month, no one's
Yeah.
going to find your game.
Yeah.
Right.
No, for sure.
issue.
I just want to say that like I like to give Steam, I like to give Valve like that clap because I do feel like they're not happy staying where they're at. They're always wanting to push and push and push and push and push. And it's the same thing with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is so far ahead of everyone else in the GPU game. Now Intel coming on the scene is crazy.
Yeah, Intel's making a mess.
Which we haven't even talked about Intel on this.
Not
but
for graphics.
This is a huge deal. We talked about it a little bit when they released Arc last
The
season.
first arc, yeah.
But now that Battle Mage is out, it's sold out everywhere.
yeah, it's so
You cannot buy
get
one.
them.
You can't buy
Really?
one.
They're-
Yeah, they're
I heard it's like priced to just fly off the shelf.
bro, they're being scalped.
Yeah, they put extra
Which is
RAM. There's
crazy.
more VRAM in there than
Yes.
like the entry level Nvidia cards for half the price.
Yeah.
Oh.
They
so they're
basically-
using
Dude,
being
they-
used for AI.
How about
then,
this?
Huh?
At
don't
14
think so.
no,
really?
Gaming.
no.
Oh, really?
At 1440p, it's basically a $250 3070. Yes.
So are they just trying to like
Oh.
get
Yes.
in your system so that you
With
think
more
of Intel
VRAM.
the next time
With
you're
more
trying to
VRAM.
get?
They want
Insane.
there to be a middle ground
I haven't
again.
even
They
heard
don't want
anything
they want there to
about
be
this.
something
Yeah.
in between playing on no graphics card and having the most expensive graphic card.
And I just saw on
they're
Google
not
this
gonna be as
morning.
widely supported like by games though.
Nope.
At
No,
this
it's-
point.
They
it's gotten
solved it.
really good.
They solved it.
Really?
There's
Yep.
still some issues with DX11 games.
Yes,
and
some of the
very
older
old
games.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they can, for at least for like DX11 stuff, they can be worked out case by case.
Yeah.
For very old games, if you really want to play very old games, look at an old AMD card or something.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm
But that's a
buying
small
Probably
subset
fix
of the
it eventually.
population.
I'm buying the 770 class when it has not been announced yet, but they're going to release one.
Yeah.
I'm actually buying a B770 when it releases.
I love all
will
this.
Just
not.
to try it out.
Oh yeah, I will not be buying an Nvidia card as my next card. I'm going to be buying an Intel card. Yep.
Crazy.
I love all this news that it is not the death of indie PC gaming like we were worried about last episode. yeah.
Well, I would buy one regardless, just because I'm an enthusiast and I need to make sure that when I go to sell this to my customers.
Yeah.
I do build PCs. Anyone reach out to me and let me know. When I sell this to my customers, I can sell them. Yeah, I've used it. It's run all the games that I'm playing. But anyways, just to circle back, I'm really happy that Valve seems to always be like trying to improve. They release a lot of like the fact that they release all their hardware statistics. They need to update it. Like, who cares how many cores your computer has? I want to know what year these CPUs are actually released or something. That would be so nice. But it's like I don't know. They're just in so much good grace. They have some.
But who do
they
you have to
some
compare
issues.
them to?
There is not a.
That's the problem.
Well,
and I
Epic
agree.
Games
I agree.
now.
But like,
Epic,
let's
Origin,
yell
there's-
at these
there's
other
some other
companies.
ones.
Let's yell at these other companies to be better, to challenge Steam.
They're
Be
trying.
better.
That's the problem, and that's how the monopoly is being maintained. Is they try, and then we get stuff like Battle.net eventually just giving up. Blizzard giving
Yeah,
up. And
why?
Being like, let's just put it on Steam because people want it on Steam. And
Epic's still holding out.
no, and there's-
Fortnite and Rocket League is
Yeah.
not on there.
So do you think right now Steam is just so good that Steam would have to actually get bad for it to not be a monopoly?
I think Steam
'Cause
would
that's
have to
kinda
get
what it
bad
sounds
for anyone
like.
to care.
Right.
But I want someone else to be able to compete effectively with them, so that Steam has to do more to keep
Right.
us on the platform. because I don't like
guess
Origin. I don't like.
Oh no, Origin's
No one
trash.
likes
Battle.net
that.
is trash.
Everything is trash.
I don't
I
like
mean,
the Fortnite one. either.
Riot's client is okay.
Epic.
But Epic
Epic,
Games,
yeah.
yeah, Epic Games.
Epic's launcher is actually not terrible.
I like.
That's
Epic's
probably the second
launcher.
best one.
Yeah.
But like most people don't have it installed or don't bother, or just
Yeah,
don't have it up
I
all
don't
the
even
time.
have it on my.
But also,
Do
like,
you
there
have
aren't.
the Epic Games launcher?
I uninstalled it because it doesn't do nearly as much for me as Steam does.
I see.
Steam does everything.
Yeah, it does.
My father, who does not play games, period, has Steam's Catan available
Oh, yeah.
because when Christy, my sister, is in Fort Collins and I'm here, we can do Catan online with the four of us, right? Like,
Nice.
Steam can offer that. He is never going to need Epic Games,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Here's a big thought. How did you guys feel? Think authentically and honestly. How did you feel when Discord started selling games?
I didn't.
Discord
even know that was
selling
a thing.
games.
You guys
Exactly.
didn't get the little pushes. Or
No,
the
yeah,
pop-ups?
they.
No.
I
A
know
lot
that
of
they sell
people's-
it like little. Were they selling AAA games or only indie games?
They
I
were
can't
selling
remember.
some bigger games, but
Okay.
it was a lot of like popular indie games and popular
Yeah.
like smaller games. But a lot of people's immediate response was like, "Oh, what the fuck? Why don't you just do? Why wouldn't I just use
Right,
Steam? I already
right.
have Steam."
Right,
Yeah.
Which
right.
sucks. Like it's not like
They don't
I love
understand it's a
Discord's
monopoly, right?
monetization, but if Discord, instead of bothering me for Nitro every 5 friggin' seconds
Yeah.
to spend more than 10 Netflixes on it or whatever
Yeah,
the heck it costs,
yeah.
instead they would just get 10% of game sales instead of the 30 Steam takes. That could be really cool to have your
Yeah.
voice platform also be your gaming platform.
Yeah.
It is pretty
Yeah.
interesting too. It's like that's another example that Discord is a complete utter monopoly. No one uses anything else.
Yeah, people
There's
almost entirely
some
moved over
TeamSpeak.
there from TeamSpeak
What?
and Mumble and
TeamSpeak.
stuff.
Dude,
Kind
I
of.
I don't
Even
know
Mert
any,
uses Discord now because he's got chat bans so often.
Well, and Discord's
I
on
don't know.
consoles now. So
I don't know a single human being that uses TeamSpeak or Mumble, unless
No,
you
me
guys tell
neither.
me that you use it now.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say yeah, and there you
Well, why
go.
would you? Yeah.
I'm surprised that more people haven't talked. I
Discord
guess
has less monetization available.
yeah,
they
That's
were-
why they push Nitro so
Yeah,
hard.
and that
Yeah.
they were pushing really hard into the education space during the pandemic, which really blew them up as like a free alternative to like
Right.
Zoom and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have the education Discord settings.
Or
now,
having
you set those
having
up, yeah.
lobbies, being able to have like text lobbies and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and roles. I think roles is the actual reason that Discord like popped off because you can easily just create roles, manage users so intuitively.
Oh yeah,
And
I
the
don't wanna-
bots.
I don't want to get all sysad me, but man, having ACLs, having really good access control lists, and having fine granular control over what people can do, oh, that feels so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the way,
It really
man.
does.
yeah, yeah. It feels good. It feels good. Yeah, it is really interesting that Steam is just so good and that everyone else is so bad. And I just don't know what it would take. And you know what sucks too? What is it going to take for someone to leave their $1,000 to $8,000 libraries
That's
behind?
the biggest.
Yeah,
Right?
my library's from it's
Handcuffs
like
on
20
it.
years old or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I bet you got well over 10 grand.
Oh yeah,
in that
it's like
library.
it was 14,000 last I looked.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, they tell you?
There's a
Yeah,
site
you,
you can
yeah,
look
you
it
can
up
just
on.
cite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Versus
between
third party.
Tony, Sean, and the Master Arcade Steam that we have, we own, I believe, last time I checked, 89% of all VR titles
Oh, wow.
over 3.5 stars.
Wow.
So basically all real
Yeah,
VR
yeah,
titles,
yeah.
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 So we basically own any VR title that would be worth playing.
Cool.
Yeah. And that came out to, let's say that came out to like $7,000.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine the
Yeah.
actual retail value on that because VR titles tend to be very expensive.
Yeah.
Well, now they do.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, since we have backdoor access, it's pretty cool. We actually know when games are going on sale before anyone else does. Yep, I can hop on there.
So
That
you're
is
gonna get us pings on Discord?
absolutely not. That is
He's
very,
gonna get you pings on Mumble or TeamSpeak.
yeah, that is very NDA. I do not break that NDA. Webbots who were searching through the auto caption of this
Imagine.
video.
Yeah, I
Does that
tried to get him to
actually
break.
happen?
He wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty neat. The business site of Steam is pretty well done too. You'd think it would be some afterthought. It's not.
Well, and that's
Very well done.
That's the biggest defense. that
Steam
you'll
Cafe is so good too.
Steam
Sorry, go ahead.
Cafe? Is that like a cat girl cafe?
No, but it's
Damn.
basically like we
Podcast.
host all our licenses, and we can just dish them out to all the computers. It's so
Without
nice.
And that's one of the big things that you'll often hear is the biggest defense is that their infrastructure is good. They have all this built-in infrastructure and sales and everything, but that's like being like, well, America's great because we have all the roads. Like, the roads are already there. We all paid for them. We all built them. This is part of the platform.
What now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all great. I love Steam as a platform. I love the stuff that Valve does, but I also, like, it's crazy that we're all here talking about how there's literally bleeding children for more yachts for Gabe. Not one single one of us is going to stop using Steam.
No.
I'm not gonna-
Yeah, it's just too convenient.
John's got Catan. I mean, like, why am I stopping?
Yeah, it is pretty
All
interesting.
the Steam families just got me locked in for whatever eternity.
But really, the
Oh,
library is
switching
good.
cost.
Like, even if, like, you know, like I recently had a potential very expensive life event that it ended up being sad, but not nearly as expensive. And like when I was in that mode of like, am I shelling out $2,000 to save this guinea pig?
Oh, man.
He just
Yeah,
says
no,
it
it's,
anyway.
I literally, I thought that, like, you lost a baby or something.
Oh no! Well, I love
Oh my
this guinea
God,
pig to
this
death.
is going to get weird.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go into
Well,
it.
he
but
does. He is very emotionally attached.
Yeah,
to the
I
guinea
thought
pig.
we thought it was
That's
benign.
okay.
We
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
it was
yeah.
benign, and it just had lumps, but it's actually cancer. Yeah, so nothing I do is
Uh-oh.
gonna help. Yeah,
My cat has lumps. I didn't take him yet, but
yeah.
he's got lumps.
How are his lymph nodes? Because that was the damning thing today.
Normal? I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're not gonna get into that on this really upbeat podcast. But anyway, I had actually been thinking like, okay, I'm gonna be in a mode where I want to save money for a while, and I have a lot of titles that I haven't played in a while, and it's like rewatching something. If it's been 3-5 years, like that's gonna be new enough to me that I'm just gonna dive back into it, and I'm gonna get a lot out of it. Steam has so I don't think of it until I like unhide my titles, and I'm like, wow, this is days of
You hide your
entertainment.
titles?
Well, yeah, because it's
I
otherwise
hide.
it's hard to navigate.
Yeah, I hide everything that's not installed.
I have like 600 titles in there. I don't hide them. I go through there when I'm bored and I play something.
Yeah, but you don't hide the ones that aren't installed.
No.
Wow.
I install them and I play them.
Psycho.
Are you the goat?
No, I just
You're just a goat.
you just play your games.
go.
You own them. You got to play them.
Yeah, I own them, but I like don't use them all the time, and so like I want a lot of them to just hide.
I was looking at those statistics that like something like most people have played less than like 10% of the library or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
at like 31%.
Wow.
And I was doing the math like, well, how long would it take me to just play like an hour of every game that I have? And like it would take like a year.
Yeah.
But you know, you could do it.
Wow.
And
That's
I
crazy.
I would like to do
Hey
it
Siri,
eventually.
how many hours are in a year? Oh, 8,760 hours.
Well, like
well, that's like if you were up every.
Play
every
no, I'm
other
just
day,
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
playing them for
Yeah,
an
cut
hour
that in
the
half.
space I have to play video
So like
games.
4,000 hours,
Yeah.
roughly. Yeah.
If you did
Wow.
nothing but play video games.
Yeah. Well, and you're gonna get stuck. That's the problem. Is you say an hour, but you're gonna play something.
Yeah,
and
you're-
like, oh, I gotta finish it.
Yeah.
Wait,
the ones you
well-
don't like, you'll stick to an hour. The ones you do like, you're gonna play the rest of the way.
Even
And
the ones I
yeah.
do like, I don't finish. So
yeah.
I don't know what's up with that either. You start a game, you finish it.
Oh heck no! I don't even finish movies.
it's hard for me. Well,
I'll be
movie,
halfway
yeah.
through a movie. I'm like, this movie sucks.
Well,
Turn
if
it off.
sucks, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a game that you actually enjoy.
Not even
and then you
games.
Just,
Even
You
games.
forget about
You
it.
do play so many. You just like
That's
constantly
true.
need the new
Yeah, he's
stimulation.
on the
yeah.
flavor of the week.
Yes,
am.
yes,
I am.
yes.
Probably
you
done with
are.
Path of Exile already, aren't you?
Well,
God.
I've been playing Hogs. What is it?
Hogwarts?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah,
That was
'cause-
the
Yeah.
flavor of 2 months ago.
Well, he's got a new
It's a great
OLED
point.
monitor.
I don't
now.
even know that. Like last I heard, you were in a Marvel Rivals kick, right?
Well,
And
I mean, Path of Exile, and Marvel Rivals right now are my multiplayer games of choice.
Okay,
For sure, hands down.
Alright. When's the last time you played either of them?
But the thing is like Aaron said, like I got a new OLED. I'm like, oh, I need an HDR game that
Yeah.
I can just get immersed in. And since I'm a Steam family member now with my brother Trapper,
yeah.
he has over 1,000 games. And so now I just get this huge free library, and I'm just like, okay, what makes sense for this? I'm like, Hogwarts.
You ever played
That's the
Doki
last
Doki
triple A
Literature Club?
game that he has in
Spoilers.
his
It's on my
library
list.
that
Yeah.
I knew was going to have
I
that
love that
HDR
game.
experience.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to try it. And I'm a
That
big Harry
developer,
Potter
Dan
fan.
Salvato? very active in the speedrunning
So good.
community and
Really?
Mario Maker community.
I did not know that. That's
he
really
made
cool.
one of the coolest and most difficult Mario Maker 2 levels very early on called
Really?
Lethal Ejection. It's
Huh.
a horrible level.
I like it all the more. I mean, like that game kills me. I absolutely love it. It's
Speaking of OLEDs, real quick, I do have in my house plugged into my computer right now a 480 hertz.
is that Quinn's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The PG27 AQPD.
Are you gonna like keep telling him that it's delayed just so you can use it
No,
longer?
he knows that I have it. What'd you say?
I was just adding letters.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to slash his tires so he can't get there quite?
It is. Well, here's the thing. It is so over the top, I can't even run it.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
capping. Yeah. The only game I could get anywhere near the
Counter-Strike. Play Counter-Strike on it.
Counter-Strike works. I could get Valorant to run in the higher 400s.
Okay.
The only time we get you to play Valorant.
Doom. I played Doom Eternal on it because that has amazing HDR support.
Yeah.
Dude, it is crazy clear. Like crazy clear. Yeah. It is. He's going from a 1080p TN 360 hertz.
Oh, wow, 360 is pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's 1080p and
1080.
TN. So like he's
I like TN panels.
he's about to get
I had one
Yeah, so did
Until
Yeah, so
I-
did everybody.
until I got OLED.
But he's about
I know. I never went IPS.
he's about to go. He's about to
0
get,
to 60.
Yeah, real hard.
Yeah.
Real
Are you
fast.
doing like black frame insertion stuff, or it's clear enough without any black frame insertion?
You do not need BFI.
Wow.
There are some OLEDs that have it.
Yeah.
It is absolutely not needed.
Wow.
This particular one does not. Oh, I think it does come with it. Right now, I'm using the True Black HDR certification as opposed to just HDR 10. And dude, yeah, it looks.
How
good.
much is that one?
$1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1440p, 480 hertz.
I just spent $1,000 on a 65-inch OLED, and that was too much.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a big screen OLED now.
Yeah,
That's what we
one
played
just-
on in there?
No, I just got it.
Oh, okay.
What'd
I
you
was gonna
buy?
Say, I don't
So-
remember
Wait, so
that.
you're having another event sometime soon?
LGB3?
Oh,
B3,
yeah, that's good.
nice.
They
That's
just
nice.
dropped to 900.
Yeah.
And I figured I said I would get one once the
Good.
65 dropped
Good.
under 1,000.
Dang, that's.
Is that?
sick,
Are you
dude.
replacing your main screen?
I'm replacing the small screen of the 65 on
okay.
the right.
All right.
The
Yeah.
85, I'm not going to be able to afford an 85-inch OLED for a
Yeah.
long time.
Well, and the mini LED looks really nice.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was for multitasking too. It's fine for playing games on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
its primary purpose is that it's 4 giant 1080p monitors.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, you're gonna really like your OLED.
Yeah, I have a little
Really?
OLED in the bedroom. I have a OLED switch and everything. And
Oh,
I have
okay,
an OLED
yeah.
display at work
Yeah.
too. Like I've used OLEDs a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just also really cheap.
yeah. This.
Says the guy
I'm
with
really
an
hoping.
85-inch television.
Yeah, maybe I should have mentioned to the viewers that you're like, is that a basement or a speakeasy? Like, or is
It's a
this both?
speakeasy.
I call it a
Yes.
speakeasy.
It's a speakeasy.
In
This
my
is the
office.
coolest speakeasy I've ever seen. Don't let him just saying he's cheap let you think that it's not amazing. Like
Well,
you've
that,
got
the house was really cheap too, and
Okay.
it was in terrible condition. We're
Okay.
fixing it.
It's
usable.
pretty
humble
sweet.
brag. You're
It's pretty
amazing
sweet.
at restoring.
He's got a hot tub in there too that we didn't even.
Yeah,
see.
there
I've done some hot tub streams, you know.
Yeah,
They-
yeah.
we could
Yeah,
do
cold
that.
feet.
We've done hot tub smash.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we could,
Brothers,
we could do
Smash
a hot tub,
Brothers.
hot tub podcast.
I could be into that. Yeah,
We could do a
So
strip
funny.
hot tub podcast.
I could do that too. Strip poker.
But if you're
I have
only in
poker chips.
swimsuit, Yeah.
Yeah, I have a swimsuit.
Then that's all you can lose.
Yeah. I've lost a swimsuit before.
See?
I come
Look
in
at these
layers.
The guys in run.
Yeah,
These guys are gonna wear white T-shirts.
right.
yeah,
And
a
a
couple.
hat and some ends.
Well,
But,
this is the last episode we're doing this season, right?
Yeah, season
This
finale.
year also.
this year.
Yeah, this
True.
year
Yeah.
and the season.
Yeah.
And I think
It's next year in tomorrow.
yeah, we're taking. What did we agree on? We agreed on an 8-week break.
I don't remember.
I think it was a 2-week
We'll have to
break, so 8
discuss it.
weeks.
We're
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
an
yeah.
even-numbered
discuss
week break.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we'll be back in March. I mean, we'll be back in March no matter what.
Oh, by March,
I
absolutely.
just don't know if it's going to be the beginning.
Is
of
that
March.
when Titletown starts?
I'll actually be live tomorrow if you
I
can.
think.
Hey,
I think-
Hotfist
Yeah, when are you live, actually?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
I yell at Mario Maker levels. So if you make Mario Maker levels, bring them to me, and I will tell you what I think.
Mm.
Be very honest.
He also has just great taste in general, so just be there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Or be
Goodbye, everybody. We're gonna go eat food. Okay. Peace.